And tonight's match, Scotland-Morocco, is live on Talk Sport. Wonder what Everton boss David Moyes thinks ahead of this. Let's ask him. David joins us live on the show this lunchtime back in the UK, of course, mid-morning here in New York. David, hi to you, my friend. How do you reflect back on that performance against Haiti?
Job well done, and hi boys, how you doing?
Good, thank you.
Good. I think it was a really good job done. I think it was a game which probably we were all expected to win, and we went about the job in the right way. I don't think the performance was the best, but we've got to a stage now where I don't think the performances are probably the things which Scotland fans are looking for. I think they're more looking for the results, and that's what we got.
So, I mean, it was all about the result in that opening game, David.
Absolutely, and look, Jim, it might be even tonight's game as well. No, it might just be all about the result because of. I think the big thing for us is can we qualify and get through the group stages, which has really been the thing we've been trying to do for so many years. I think we've given ourselves a good chance now. I really do.
Moyes, was it a missed opportunity? Because it may prove. I know we can always find the negative in things, but was it a missed opportunity with goals? Because it might find itself into the situation where goal difference, if you're finishing third and you need to get out of the group by some degree of methodology, given that only 8 of the 12 teams that come in third can come through, is it not a slight concern that they didn't take advantage of the opposition? And also, perhaps the way Shankland played, it looked like he was being bullied by a Haitian centre-half throughout the duration of the game until he got hooked off.
Simon, I don't disagree with any of that, but I think when you actually overlook the performance wasn't good enough to win by 3 or 4 goals and give us those goals which would be required probably to get us that slot if we need to do so. I think in the end getting the 3 points, which you heard, took a lot of pressure off Scotland in many ways. But I don't think anybody would have come away saying that they thought the performance was terrific. I think the big takeaway from it was the result. And I agree a little bit with Shankland. I think Shankland has done really well, and I think that if Scotland, if there's anybody who I would hope the ball would land in the box, it would be Shankland probably more than any of the other strikers. So from that point of view, Steve played the 2 centre forwards at the time, got the result. But obviously, as you're right what you're saying, Simon, if we could have got 3 goals of that, then it would have been a much better outcome. But it wasn't to be.
David, what are Scotland facing tonight? What do we face in Morocco?
A really good side. Look, the ones who everybody will have watched the African nations just in January time, and Senegal beat them in the final. But I think when you look back, you'd always probably say that Morocco looked a better side and probably should have been winners of the competition. I think Morocco have grown over the years. I think the level of players, I think the players they've got playing throughout Europe show you exactly what they've got. I don't think Scotland will be miles off it tonight. But if you were saying we're certainly underdogs, and even Steve's saying that as well. And again, I actually agree. I think that Scotland coming into the game as underdogs might be quite important, really, because then the pressure's off us a little bit not to expect so much possession, not to expect quite so much of the ball. It's if we can now defend our box well enough and try and sort of build on those moments in the game which might get us a chance to score.
If you're looking at the 2 games, I know it sounds almost ridiculous to make this observation given that one of them is Brazil. If you were picking the 2 games, which in your mind's eye would you suggest there's a possibility that Scotland might get something out of, either the game against Morocco or the game against Brazil?
I wish I could be as clear with Simon, but the big thing I would say is I think the first game is always the most important one, so you have to try and do something tonight. If Scotland can take a point tonight from the game, it would be a great result, even though we might start saying it's not enough or it might not be. Brazil and Miami, I think, will be a different situation. I think that conditions will be much tougher for them. Maybe not much tougher than being up in Boston, but I believe that maybe Brazil will have qualified by then. You'd expect them to beat Haiti. So who knows? But look, you can only take the first game as it comes, and hopefully Scotland can set out to win. But if we come away with a draw, I think we'll be more than happy.
David, on England, how different tactically is Tuchel's England to Gareth Southgate's?
Good question. I don't think much. I mean, I'm actually looking at it from a manager's point of view and looking to see that. I think there's a lot of tactical things going on in the Premier League and lots of fine detail I've watched a lot of the games, not them all. Everybody, it's difficult to watch all the games the way the World Cup's panning out. But I'm not seeing huge tactical implications in what the managers are putting out there. I don't think Thomas Tuchel's really done that in his game he's done. But behind it all, I'm impressed by how Thomas has gone about it. I really am. And even the players playing a game against Kansas City, the boys who haven't played, I think it's a great idea what he's doing. He's keeping the other boys at the same level, or trying to keep them as close to the same level. The other thing I have to say is, great that the players are accepting playing against selected for England, but yet going to turn out against I'm not calling it the local side, but the teams in the city. So I think there's a lot what Thomas is doing is good. But obviously, what we'll all judge on, if you're English, will probably be the outcome. And Gareth Southgate, to be honest, is taking the team to semi-finals and finals and on different competitions.
But I mean, I take the point that let's not dig deep into the tactical differences, but there is a difference in the manner in which England approached the second half. I don't recall, with all due respect, that an England team being as aggressive and as front foot as they were in the second half against Croatia. I know you take the opposition into consideration, but there was something different, David, about them. They were far more forward thinking than I've seen them under Southgate. Do you not accept that?
Yes, in some ways, I think so. But I think we've got to watch. It's one game. You're 2-2 at half time. Probably England were disappointed to have lost 2 goals in the first half, and they'd got themselves in front, and I wasn't quite sure if Croatia would have enough to get back in it. They did do, but
But at 3-2, Moyes, we're not trying to save the game. We're throwing on offensive players.
Yeah, of course. No. I get that, and I don't for a minute think that they were. I think England's ability to change the team, the players they had on the bench, how many players they could have changed. They've suddenly get 7 or 8 players on there who could easily come in and be no worse than the starters they put out. So I definitely think that England have got an awful lot going for them at the moment. And do I think the manager made a difference? Yeah, I'm sure. But the manager's job is to make a difference at half time if he can. And Thomas Tuchel done that. That's part of your role as a manager. That every manager who's not getting the result they want at half time is always trying to change it, make things better if you can. Whether that be a real good motivational team talk, or whether it be the hairdryer treatment, or whatever it needs. Thomas got the best out of it, and they went on to win the game quite comfortably.
Anything changed in your mind? I mean, obviously we've got a perception. I think Tuchel was brought in to do better. Obviously, that's the reason why you brought Tuchel in. Anything changed in your view of England based upon the performance against Croatia? A lot's been made. We were told that Croatia were a dad's army. They weren't. Their average age was a year older than our team. I mean, the England team, not your team, obviously. Anything changed in your view of what England looked like and what might they look like going through this tournament?
Yeah, I think Thomas's the way he selected his squad in the first place for me was interesting. It wouldn't have been what I'm not sure the general public would have always said with the right ones, and maybe even the punditry who were doing it questioned it. And I even thought the other night there, Gay not being selected as a starter, I think would probably been a huge surprise to a lot of people. There was a big debate about Rob Rodgers or Bellingham was going on. Saka, maybe it's injury why he didn't start. But I think he's seeing things and he's coming along, and I think he's working out that this is probably the best part of nearly a 6-week competition. I think it is now, maybe longer, and he's going to have to find a way of making sure that the players are all fresh and ready for the games. And I thought he'd done that. I thought his team selection was really good. A bit surprising maybe to some people, like John Stones, who's not played an awful lot but is an exceptional player, and Thomas likes him a lot. And he played the players who he really believed in. So I like the way he's gone about it.
So, David, back home, we now know the Premier League fixtures are out this morning. You guys, Everton, a home game against Crystal Palace. That kicks it off for you. What are the aims for the campaign?
Well, obviously, to try and do better than we've done last year. We certainly done better last year than we had the previous seasons. But ultimately, you're always trying to progress. I don't know if a club like Everton now we can make big, huge strides, but we see how well the likes of Bournemouth and Brentford are doing. So there's no reason why we all shouldn't have those ambitions to try and at least match those clubs and how they go about it. But I would have to say that, you know, at Everton we're trying to be back up with the top end of the teams that we can. And for long periods of last season we just didn't quite have enough in the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
It'll be honest before we know it, right?
Oh, by the way, the madness is about to begin very shortly, you know, and so we've got to enjoy this little bit of time off when we get it. So, but it'll be the same for everybody.
David, thank you so much. Come on, Scotland. Let's see what they can do, David.
Yes, hope so.
Okay, David Moyes with us live on the show this lunchtime. Everton going against Simon's Crystal Palace on day one. It will be honest before we know it, Simon.
Absolutely.
You know?
Time waits for no man, does it?
Absolutely. Certainly won't wait for us as we're in the home straight today here in New York.